Hello, everybody. This is Lewis Jones with YouLearnMusic.com. Today, I am going to talk about inversions. Now, what is an inversion? Inversion, in its simplest form, just simply means that you're going to rearrange the notes in a chord. Let me give you an example. So here you have a C chord, and if you look right above the keyboard there, you'll see the letters C, E, and G. So a C chord is made up of C, E, and G. So an inversion, all it's going to do is just move those notes around. So let's take the C here. Let's just move it up top. Play this C here. You have a different sound, but it's still a C chord. All right, we're going to move. Let's move the E here. Let's move it higher. And now we have this chord. Now, those inversions actually have names. So whenever you have this, so this is a C chord. Now we call this C chord right here, we call it root position. Now when I move this C up here, we call that first inversion. And when I take the E here and I move it up, we call this second inversion. All right. So I'm going to play 3 chords, and I'm going to use those 3 chords with the song Celebration by Kool and the Gang. And so I'm going to use C, I'm going to use F, and I'm going to use G. Now, what's the purpose of an inversion? Now, one of the main purposes of an inversion, it just makes it easier to go from one chord to the next. So let me play Celebration without any inversions. Here's what it would sound like. Oops. Sorry about that. Let me do it one more time since I made a mistake. All right. Now, this is what it would sound like with inversions. One more time. All right. So there's many reasons why you can play the inversions, but then in this particular lesson, there's two reasons why we're going to play the inversions. Number one is it's easier to play the chords like this instead of, so it's easier to move around with your hands, number one. And number two, it sounds smoother to go from here to here as opposed to, it's kind of choppy. Now, there are instances where you want to have a choppy sound, but for the most part, when you play songs, you kind of want to use inversions. Right? So again, we're using the C chord, we're using the F chord, and we're using the G chord here. Right? Now I'm going to add my left hand here to give the song a full sound. So here is Celebration. So we're going to play left hand, you're going to play an E. Right hand, you're going to play a C chord and a C, E, G. All right. And then we're going to move here. Left hand's going to play an F. Right hand's going to play the F chord, but you're going to play the F chord in the second inversion. And that's C, F, A. And then we're going to move to the left hand's going to play the G. Right hand's going to play the G major chord. You're going to play the G major chord in the second inversion. So that's D, G, and B. And so just kind of practice. Just moving between the chords. And then once you have that, you can kind of go into that little rhythm. Bop, 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 bop. So you're going back and forth between the C and the F. And then that last chord, you land on the G. C, C, F, F, C, F, C,